What is up, guys? My name is Asteroid and welcome back to the next episode of our Pokemon competitive guide. So guys, today we're going to be covering Volcanion. Now Volcanion was just recently officially released for ORAS and X and Y over an event, and now you can use them online, you can use them in Wonder Trades, you can pretty much do everything with Volcanion now, which is fantastic. So now that he is officially released for the Nintendo 3DS and ORAS and X and Y and stuff, we're going to be covering him and going over a few sets here. Now Volcanion is a very powerful Pokemon, and he has a lot of different quirks about him that make him extremely insane. But overall, he's not that diverse. Not really that diverse. He does have some very balanced stats, so you would think he'd be able to be used in a lot of different ways, but really, he is mainly focused to being very offensive, and you can run him very speedy, or you could also run him pretty bulky as well. So there are a few different ways you can run him, but for the most part, he's definitely not the most diverse Pokemon. But without further ado, let's get straight into this. Now, somehow, I managed to break Showdown, and this came as a complete surprise to me, but I took the sets that Sean gave me, I copied them into Showdown, and as you can see, we have a team of 7 on Showdown. I have never seen this before. I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but this is clearly some sort of glitch or something, because I imported the sets and it let me import 7 of them, which usually doesn't happen. So I don't know. We have a team of 7 here, so hopefully you guys are excited about that, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, looking at the first Volcanion set here, we have a Choice Scarf set with a max speed, max special attack, EV spread. We have the 4 in special defense. You can invest the 4 into defense if you'd like, or HP, but keep in mind that if you do invest the 4 into HP, you're going to be getting into that even HP stat, which is going to make it so that way you don't take as many Stealth Rock or just entry hazard damage in general. Now, the cool thing about Volcanion, one of its little quirks, I would say, is the fact that it is the first water and fire type. It is a fire water type, which is one of the best typings I've ever seen. I just love it. It's so contradicting, but it works so well, seeing as it is the steam Pokemon. Now, the other quirk that Volcanion has is it gets the move Steam Eruption, which is the most insane move I've ever seen. So if you guys weren't aware, Scald is one of the most prominent attacks in the competitive scene. And the main reason behind that is because Scald is a really nice offensive water type attack, does good damage, has great accuracy, and it has a 30% chance to burn. So it's a really, really awesome move that a lot of Pokemon get, and it's a fantastic attack. Now, Steam Eruption takes Scald, and it brings it to the next level. It has 110 base power, 95% accuracy, APP, and a 30% chance to burn. So basically, it is a extreme version of Scald. It is basically Scald on steroids, which is broken. That being said, Steam Eruption is definitely the water type attack you want to be running on Volcanion. It's going to be great for doing damage, dishing out all the burns, and it should be able to put in work. The other attacks we have here, though, we have Fire Blast for the fire type stab, 110 base power, 85% accuracy, APP, and that 10% chance to burn the target. If you'd like a more accurate attack, then you can run Flamethrower, or I believe it does get Heat Wave as well. Yeah, so you could run Heat Wave or Flamethrower if you do not want to run the Fire Blast. But if you are okay with that less accuracy, then Fire Blast is definitely the move for you. And I believe you could also run Scald. If you did not want to run Steam Eruption, you could run Scald as well if you are not liking that 95% accuracy. But in my personal opinion, I feel like Steam Eruption is definitely worth the 5% less accuracy. But of course, it is completely up to you. Now, the other attacks we have here, we have Sludge Wave for the poison type coverage, 95 base power, 100% accuracy, great move for the coverage there. And finally, we have Earth Power for the ground type coverage as well. Hits the electric types. We have 90 base power, 100% accuracy, and a 10% chance to lower the target special defense by 1. Now, the other special moves you could run on Volcanion, he does get a lot of awesome special attacks that you could run. We have things like Flash Cannon, Focus Blast, Heat Wave. You could run Hidden Power Ice. You could run freaking Overheat, Hyper Beam, Hydro Pump, Sludge Bomb, Solar Beam. You could even run Weather Ball if you'd like to run like a weather team around Volcanion. That would be pretty lit. So there are a lot of different attacks you can run here. Definitely a lot of options. But in my personal opinion, I feel like Sludge Wave, Fire Blast, Flamethrower, Heat Wave, Steam Eruption, Scald, those are probably going to be your best bets. Flash Cannon can also be a great attack for hitting those fairies. But then again, you do have the Sludge Waves. Overall, I do recommend choosing the moves that will benefit your team the most and that's what I've always recommended. That's what I'll always recommend. So anyways, for the ability, we have Water Absorb, which is going to make it so you are immune to all water type attacks. It's pretty nice, seeing as you are part fire type, so pretty much negates that potential weakness and completely gets rid of it, which is great. And then of course for the item, we have Choice Scarf here to make yourself extremely fast. With your timid nature, 70 base speed, and your investment, you should be able to outspeed a lot of different things. You can run Modest if you'd like more power, but that is of course completely up to you. I would say go with Timid though, just because 70 base speed is not the best, and having that timid nature could definitely help you out in the long run. So next up, we have a more bulky Volcanion that focuses on longevity and is trying to survive. We have the moves Substitute, Scald, Flamethrower, and Sludge Wave. Sludge Wave you can swap out with Sludge Bomb if you're doing a double battle or a multi-battle or whatever it may be. You can swap out Flamethrower for Heat Wave or Fire Blast, whatever you think is the best for you. We have Scald, which you of course can swap out for Steam Eruption, but if you're not a fan of that accuracy, then you can go with the Scald, be safe. And finally, we have Substitute. The idea of this is just to be as bulky as possible with your 248 in HP, and then invest 252 into special attack there, 8 into special defense. But for the most part, you just want to hide behind a bunch of subs, dish out the damage, and just heal up with your leftovers, regain that health back, and just keep on destroying. As you can see, there are 0 IVs in attack, which the only reason for that is just to counteract foul play. So if you would like to do that, if you want to hone in your IVs to that extent, then you can, but it's not necessary. So anyways, the next set here, we have an Assault Vest set, just full offensive moveset, Scald, Flamethrower, Sludge Bomb, and Earth Power. We have 248 in HP, try to get the most out of your bulk, 8 in special defense, and the 252 in special attack with a modest nature. Now the idea here is just to take the bulk from the Assault Vest, and pairing that with your HP stats and your insane moveset and your insane amount of coverage, you should be able to put a massive dent in pretty much any team. I'm sure you guys are catching on here, but all of these sets are very, very similar, just with slight modifications. And that is what Volcanion is. You know, that's what he does. He's able to do a lot of different things in terms of bulk versus speed, but in terms of the actual way you run him, there really isn't much to it. I do want to cover a physical Volcanion set very, very soon though, so definitely stay tuned for that. This next set focuses around the move Solar Beam and the Power Herb alongside that. So of course, same concept, 248 in HP, 252 in special attack with the modest nature, 8 in special defense, with Steam Eruption, Flamethrower, Earth Power, and Solar Beam. Of course, Power Herb is going to be making it so that way your Solar Beam is going to only take 1 turn to charge for that first time you use it. And it's actually not a bad idea, but I was thinking, how could we use Solar Beam on a Volcanion in a more efficient way? Then I started thinking of possibly making a sun-themed Volcanion and putting Volcanion on a sun team. Obviously, Volcanion is a fire and water type, so the sun would benefit his fire aspects, but it would downgrade the water aspects. But I was thinking, maybe this would actually work. So I came up with this. If we run Steam Eruption, a fire type attack, Earth Power, Solar Beam. I was even considering replacing the Flamethrower here with a move like Weather Ball, because Weather Ball is going to double in power in the sun. It's also going to take on the type of fire. So you could use Weather Ball as your fire type attack, as crazy as that sounds. It's basically going to be 100 base power, 100% accuracy, and it's going to be like the better Flamethrower without the chance to burn. So if you would like to run a Weather Ball Volcanion, then this could be a pretty fun idea. If you run him with a drop Pokemon like Mega Charizard Y or Ninetales, it might actually work out, which could be pretty fun. Now, of course, you could run Power Herb, but you wouldn't really need it, especially seeing as you're running Solar Beam in the sun. So you can swap it out for like Life Orb, or maybe even Assault Vest or Extra Belt. So if you do want to kind of go outside the typical Volcanion set and try and run him on a sun team, then it might actually work out pretty well. And Steam Eruption is still a very powerful move, despite being in the sun. It could still work out pretty well. So, I don't know, take that as you will. Now is the moment of truth. We have a physical Volcanion. As you can see, Volcanion has 110 attack, which honestly is not that bad. It really isn't. It's a pretty nice attack stat, especially for a Pokemon that is mainly run special. Of course, we do have a 130 special attack stat, but I think a physical Volcanion could actually work and really throw your opponents off guard. So, anyways, we're running Flare Blitz, which is insane, gonna do a lot of damage, a very high power attack. You also have Flame Charge, I guess, but you are running Choice Scarf, and you are investing into speed, so I think Flare Blitz is probably your best bet. It is going to do recoil, but I think it's definitely worth it. Next up, we have Steam Eruption, because literally Volcanion does not get a single physical water type attack. It does not get Waterfall. It doesn't get Aqua Jet. It doesn't get anything. So, we're running Steam Eruption with no special attack investment, which honestly is not that bad still. It honestly is not that bad because, you know what? 110 base power, 95% accuracy, it's still going to do a lot of damage despite not having any investment. So you can still run that if you like the water type coverage. If not, if you'd rather just run a full physical moveset, then you can swap out Steam Eruption for a move such as Body Slam or Brick Break or Facade, maybe even Explosion, which could be crazy. The Superpower could also be a pretty nice attack to have, so that's up to you. If you do want to have that water type attack though, then Steam Eruption is definitely the way to go. Next up, we have Earthquake, which is fantastic for doing the damage, great for the coverage, and then we have Stone Edge, which is also fantastic for the coverage. For the EVs, we have Max Attack, Max Speed with the Naughty Nature, boosting your attack and lowering your special defense. We're not going with Adamant just because I do not want to lower our special attack, especially when we're running Steam Eruption. You can go with Adamant though if you do plan to run that full physical moveset. And of course, we're going with the Choice Scarf here to boost your speed and just be an absolute monster. If you do want more speed though, without sacrificing your special attack, then you're going to have to go with the Naive Nature, which is going to boost your speed, lower your special defense. So that is pretty much the wild card set for today. This set is pretty standard, except this time we're running Focus Blast and HP Ice, just to give you a bit of diversity, give you some coverage against dragons. Focus Blast can definitely be useful if you are okay with that accuracy, and the Choice Scarf is going to make you outspeed a bunch of things, and HP Ice will pretty much be able to do a lot of damage to a lot of things in the OU tier. And finally, we have our 7th set that technically shouldn't even exist. We have the Fire Blast, Steam Eruption, Focus Blast, and HP Ice, the same moveset as before, with the 248 in HP, 252 in special attack. Between your high damaging attacks, your investment, and your nature, and your choice specs, you're going to be doing a lot of damage. But I think that's pretty much it for today's competitive guide. I want to say a quick thank you to Sean for helping me with these sets. I really do appreciate the assistance, and he was able to really help me out in terms of figuring out how to use Volcanion and really get the most out of this Pokemon. So thank you, thank you, thank you. But thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Peace!